why your marketing plan is failing, and how to build a referral system instead. There is a specific kind of heaviness that settles in your shoulders when you open a glossy marketing plan that looks impressive on paper but feels completely disconnected from the reality of disability care. You see the content calendar, the lead targets, the posting schedule, the funnels, and the follow-ups, and your body just knows this isn't it. Not because you're lazy, not because you're inconsistent, not because you need more discipline. It feels wrong because disability care doesn't run on marketing mechanics. It runs on trust. In our sector, people do not wake up and scroll Instagram thinking, I'd love to engage a disability provider today. They're managing risk. They're managing pressure. They're managing real people with real needs. So when a marketing plan is built like we're selling software subscriptions, it can feel like trying to hold water in your hands. You can see it, you can feel it, but it keeps slipping through the gaps. And if you've been feeling like your marketing is just adding more noise to a room that is already loud, I want to say this clearly. You're not behind, you're not broken. You're just using the wrong tool for the job. Because what most providers actually need is not a marketing plan. They need a referral pipeline. A marketing plan is usually a collection of tasks. Post this, boost that, send a newsletter, run an ad, update the website. A referral pipeline is different. It's a reliable pulse, a sequence, a pattern that creates familiarity and confidence over time. One feels like frantic effort, the other feels like steadiness. What referrals really are. When we talk about referrals in disability care, we are talking about the transfer of confidence. When a support coordinator, a planner, an allied health clinician, a hospital discharge team, a school team, or a community connector says your name, they're not just making a suggestion. They're placing their reputation and their participant safety into your hands. That's not light, that's weight. And when your marketing message is generic, it gives them nothing solid to hold onto. If all you've got is we're caring and we're person-centered, you sound like everyone else because everyone else says that. It's the baseline. Referrers aren't trying to pick the nicest logo. They're trying to reduce the chance of something going wrong. They want to know, without having to chase you, that you will be steady. They want to know you will communicate. They want to know your team won't create extra complexity. They want to know you will not disappear when things get hard. So if your marketing plan is focused on visibility but not trust, it will keep feeling thin. Because referrals don't come from being seen everywhere. They come from being seen in the right places with the right message. They come from being useful. Let's name a few reasons this goes sideways. Even when you've got a good service and a strong heart for the work, most marketing plans reward output. More posts, more content, more reach, more impressions. But referrals are not a popularity contest. They are a certainty decision. If a referral feels unsure, even slightly, they will choose someone else, not because your service is worse, because in a high pressure day, people choose what feels safest and clearest. So we can be busy creating content and still be invisible to the people who actually refer, because they aren't looking for constant posting. They're looking for confidence. Disability care is not one audience. A family member is looking for reassurance and communication. A referrer is looking for reliability and reduced admin. A participant is looking for dignity and being understood. A clinician is looking for collaboration and consistency. A hospital discharge team is looking for speed and safety. If your message is one size fits all, it won't feel personal to anyone. It won't feel like relief. And relief is the real driver in referrals. People refer towards relief. Relief from risk, relief from chaos, relief from uncertainty, relief from the feeling that they will have to clean up someone else's mess. When your message speaks directly to their pressure, you become memorable. Not because you shouted louder, but because you said the thing they needed to hear. A lot of marketing advice pushes providers into performance mode. Be inspiring, be consistent, be polished, be everywhere. But trust is built in a different way. Trust is built when you show your standards. Trust is built when you show how you think. Trust is built when you show how you handle complexity. And yes, sometimes that means being honest about the realities of care, not just sharing the highlight reel. The providers who are growing steadily are often the ones who can speak plainly about what they do, who they do it for, and why their approach works. They don't hide behind generic language. They don't try to impress. They try to be clear. What a referral pipeline actually looks like. A referral pipeline is a repeatable sequence that makes people feel safe to refer to you again and again. It's built on 3 pillars. Be seen, be trusted, be scalable. That doesn't mean being everywhere. It means being present in the right rooms with the right people, with the right message, consistently enough that they remember you when it matters. Let's break that down. Pillar 1, be seen in the right places. If your marketing plan is mostly social media and you're hoping the right referrals will magically find you, that's where the plan is failing. We need intentional visibility. Where are your ideal referral partners already spending time? What professional spaces are they already in? What networks do they already trust? What conversations are they already having? Being seen in disability care means being visible where trust is built, not where attention is cheap. That can look like attending the same local professional meeting regularly, not once. It can look like building connections with a small handful of support coordination teams that align with your values and participant group. It can look like relationships with allied health clinics where you become known as the provider who follows through. The goal isn't quantity. The goal is familiarity. Familiarity reduces perceived risk, and reduced risk drives referrals. Pillar 2, be trusted through clarity. This is where most providers underperform without realizing it. They talk about caring, but they don't communicate what makes them the right provider for a specific participant. Trust is built through clarity. Who do we support best? What are our boundaries? What is our approach to communication? What is our standard in documentation and safety? What makes our service different to the provider down the road? If you can't explain your difference clearly, the referrer has to do mental work to figure it out. In a busy day, they won't. They will choose the provider they already understand. So, a referral pipeline includes messaging that speaks to both sides, your ideal participant's needs and your referrals partner's needs. A participant needs to feel safe, respected, and understood. A referrer needs to feel confident that the process will be steady. So instead of posting generic content, we share messages like, here is how we support a smooth start. Here is how we communicate when things change. Here is how we keep the team consistent. Here is what we do when behavior escalates. Here is how we protect participant dignity while keeping staff safe. That kind of clarity builds trust because it shows thinking, not just feeling. And it creates the feeling referrers are looking for. Relief. Pillar 3, be scalable through consistency. A pipeline only works if it's sustainable. This is where providers get stuck because they try to do it all manually. They do a big push for 2 weeks, Then the workload ramps up and the referral work disappears. A referral pipeline needs to run even when you're busy, not in a robotic way, in a disciplined way. We create simple, repeatable touch points that maintain connection. A quarterly relationship check-in with your key referrers. A simple, "How are things going?" message after a participant starts. A short update when there is meaningful progress. A thank you that acknowledges the trust they placed in you. Not because you need referrals this week, because you're building trust over time. If you only reach out when you need something, that's transactional. If you stay connected when you don't need anything, that's relationship-based. And relationship-based referrals are the most stable referrals you can build. Referrals feel inconsistent when your visibility is random and your message is generic. You'll get a wave, then nothing, then another wave. That's what happens when you rely on chance and hope. A referral pipeline is different. It creates steady trust. And steady trust creates steadier referrals. This is why we don't need a marketing plan that looks good in a document. We need a pattern that works in real life. What to say without sounding salesy. A lot of providers avoid relationship building because they don't want to feel pushy. Good, we don't want pushy either. The key is to stop trying to convince and start trying to be useful. Referrers don't need a pitch, they need certainty. So instead of "we'd love to work with you," we lead with something like, "Here's who we support best right now and why. Here's what makes a smooth transition and how we do it. Here are the things that tend to go wrong in the first 4 weeks and how we prevent that. Here's how we communicate so you're not chasing updates." This positions you as a steady operator, someone who thinks ahead, someone who understands the weight referrers carry. That's what makes you different. Here's an action step to take today. We're going to make this super practical. Pick 3 referral partners you'd genuinely like to work alongside more this year. Not 30, 3. Then send a short message that builds trust, not need. No asking, no hinting, no awkwardness. Something like, "Hey, we wanted to check in and make sure the last referral felt supported and steady from your side. If there was anything we could have done to make that smoother for you, let us know. We're committed to being easy to work with because we know what it costs when things go sideways." That does 3 things. It shows you're relationship-led. It shows you care about their experience, not just yours. It shows you're serious about quality. Do that once a week and you're not marketing. You're building trust. And trust is what creates a referral pipeline. If you've been staring at marketing plans and feeling like something is missing, you're right. Disability care doesn't grow through noise. It grows through trust, clarity, and relationships that are built on follow-through. So stop chasing random marketing activity and start building a referral pipeline. Be seen in the right places, be trusted with the right message, and be scalable with consistency that doesn't rely on your memory. If you want more guidance like this, hit subscribe. I'm here to help you build a disability care business that's steady, values-led, and built for long-term success. And if you want to pressure test your referral pipeline, drop a comment and tell us, where are most of your referrals coming from right now and what part feels the least predictable?